that in the order in which I explain it, that is how you will both get a longer that thing.
Yeah, okay.
And then you'll get the money.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Yes.
I see. Extend it like something and then profit. I understand. Okay, hello everybody. I had no sound. I didn't realize that my snowball had desynced from OBS. Apologies about that. You didn't really miss anything. All I was saying was hello to everybody in chat and to go, look, I have a Psychopage. We're going to continue working on this big bad boy today, and I've actually done all of the cleanup. So, hello to everybody one more time in chat, since you guys didn't actually hear my lovely greeting, to the Sarah Games, to Tim, to Toy Painter 1, to Kenny, to Daniel. Hello everybody in chat, and to everybody who is lurking, an extra fond hello to you as well. Alright, without further ado, now that I've got my audio fixed and you can actually hear me speaking to you this time, I figure we should go ahead and get started. Now, originally, I was going to get started on some of the purple detail work. And I think I'm probably still going to do that, but I'm a little bit nervous to work on the back side of him because it's just so large and I want it to look relatively clean. So we're going to start on some of the smaller sections like his legs first to build up my confidence. And then hopefully we'll end by working on his butt. This is going to... So I thought about using like one of my giganto brushes, right? Like one of these. And I still might, but I am mildly concerned about spillage with this. I do not want to lose control too much and end up getting too much purple on all of the really nice work that I've done on his belly, which would be easy enough, I think, to touch up if need be, but I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. So I think instead, I might be coming in with a little bit of a smaller brush and kind of trying to work on them in sections and do it that way. That is kind of my approach because I want him to look relatively clean. But the first thing, before we actually move on to some of the purple that I think I want to do is his mouth. Because I'm worried that once I've started putting purple on this, it's going to end up being a lot more time consuming to take care of. And I think we're going to start making all of this pink is what I've decided. I was originally debating whether or not I was going to still have it be in green, but I think I want it to be in pink. But we might make, well, now I'm debating actually, because I realized that his face here has a little bit of like gums showing, and I don't really want his face to be fully pink. I want it to have a little bit of that green in it like the termagants do. And now I don't know. Baltic Model Maker Bay, good evening to you as well. Hello, hello, hello. I hope all of you are doing well. Tim, just to answer your question, I am doing quite well today. It's been a very good day actually so far. It's been lovely. I got up, made some breakfast for Chaos Cultist and I, which has been lovely. We've been having like eggs, which I have not had in ages, and it's been really nice. Nice source of protein, you know? And then I basically hung out. I cleaned this boy up a bunch today while watching Chaos Cultist work on his Final Fantasy 16 playthrough, which has been really, really fun. Hello, Sergeant Striker 101. Welcome to the chat. All right, because I am nervous to work on the pink and the purple. No, we're gonna start working on the purple. We're just gonna start working on the purple and we're gonna go for it. And we'll do the pink afterwards because I think that'll be fine. I actually think it'll end up being fine, and I need to figure out what I'm doing with the face. I'm debating, should I have them green? Like, do you guys, I would like your opinion in chat. I wanted the tentacles to stand out a little bit more than other elements on him. That was my original goal, okay? But I almost feel like making them green might be the better route to go. And then maybe only making, okay, so here's my thought. So you see how there's kind of a defined line between like this tentacle and then the flayed portions here? What if I did this in pink, but then did all of these tentacles, like the 3 tentacles that come off, in green? Do you guys think that sounds pretty good? I would genuinely am asking for your opinion because I am nervous to move forward on this boy and I really want him to look good. And I feel like I want a little bit, like right now, he's very green when you're looking at him from behind, and I love that. And I like the toxicity that's coming through. But I feel like as we come to his front, we are losing that a little bit. You don't see as much green here. And so I am debating that. And if I'm doing that, I think I want to do it after I paint the pink of the mouth. Oh, awesome, Sergeant Striker. How do you like World of Tanks? I've played it a little bit myself, and I really, really enjoyed it. I honestly should give it another try, because I think I'd have a little bit of a better understanding of how to maneuver and work the tanks now that I've understand them a little bit better. And I really it's a really fun game. I also do have some of the tabletop version. I assume you might be playing the digital version, but if not, rad, because I love when seeing people play the tabletop version. And I have a couple of tanks from that as well, which has been really, really awesome. Fleshy, I am trying to... I like the idea of that, Michael. I do actually like the idea of that. But because I'm trying to go for a very toxic look, the only thing that I've really wanted to feel a bit more natural is some of the bones. So like all of the little spikes that are on the tentacles are going to end up being in a much more natural color tone. Because I've done some of the other claws on like my termagants also in like a bone color tone. And I think that's where we're going to bring in some of the more natural elements. But the rest of him, I really want to feel a little bit more alien. Like they've just absorbed a bunch of non-human elements, and that's what's created these like ridiculous creatures. So I do think, well, the green I'm using is a little bit of a yellowish green, so it definitely would be that way, because as you can see, I put some dark green on the bottom, as well as the more yellow green. So I definitely think I want this toxic, more, you know, yellowish green color tone. I don't think I want to go too yellow. I am seeing some people say green. You know what? I should get the Chaos Cultist's opinion. Let me see if I can grab him really quick. Instead of shouting, I'll see if he'll... I don't know if he's actually watching today's episode or not. Let me see if he's available. I need a color opinion. Please. Nope, that's not how you spell please. I left off the E. I can't spell! It's been one of those days. It's actually not been one of those days. It's actually been pretty fine. But it's going to start to be one of those days. I thought I...
What?
Oh, hello! Excellent. Okay, so here's my dilemma. I want to have some pink.
Yeah, I was listening.
Okay, cool. Do you think I should do these in green? Just the tentacle-y portion, and then you see how there's this divide?
If you're going to do it in green, you need to do it in a different green than you have for the rest of the body.
Okay, what other color would you... Should I just do it all in pink, then?
I was in favor of doing the pink.
Okay, doing all in pink, then?
That was my thought.
Okay,
because
you don't think it's going to contrast? Like, what should I do, basically... Okay, if that, in that case, then, what should I do for this little bit of, like, upper lip...
Well, that should be green, yeah.
That should be green. Okay, but the rest of it basically should just transition into pink.
I would think so, but you can do something different with it.
No, I that's where I was originally leaning. So I am glad to see that you're kind of in that vibe. I just wasn't sure if I had enough.
Because they're coming from inside of his mouth, right?
Well, they're kind of on the out. I don't know. Are they? Like, here, you look at it for a second. Do they look like they're coming from inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside? Okay, well then yes. Then we'll do them with pink then. They should definitely be like, he opens up his jaw and then these pink terrors. I don't know. My cat was in somewhere he should not have been, apparently. Alright, well in that case, we're going to go ahead and work on the pink right now. And I think for that, we're going to go back to our Doomfire Magenta, because that's what we did on our Termagants. What should I do Volupus Pink? No, we're going to do Doomfire. We're going to do this kind of thin, though. That way we can layer it up if I don't like it. I could use Nurgle's Rot. That would be a neat... That might be something I do afterwards as a technical. That would be pretty cool. Fading would be kind of interesting too. I think I'm gonna go with the pink. I think I need the contrast. I think I want the brightness. He's convinced me that my original idea was good. All right, in that case, let's go ahead and start working on the tentacles. It's going to be so vibrant, and I'm very excited. All right, you guys can see fine. I'm not going to worry about anything else that isn't his tentacles that we're covering, because we can always clean those up afterwards. And we just want to spread this color around. Yeah, this is looking cool. And I love how it's like settling onto all the slight textures on these tentacles. Terrifying alien maw opening up to swallow you. I know some of you might enjoy that a little too much. I do. Alright, let's get all of this. I'm not gonna worry about if I get the teeth or not. We're gonna do a very tedious cleanup on these. We really just want to avoid getting this on any of the things that we painted green. So I'm trying not to splatter my brush too much over everything so that we don't end up having issues with speckling on our green that we've already painted. There we go. Looking super good so far. Very satisfied with how this is turning out. One little tentacle that needs to be taken care of on this side, and then we'll move over to the other side.
Happy birthday.
What? Oh, well, thank you. Is that something I can open on stream?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, cool.
And if not, that will be funny.
Well, you know what? I'm even more excited to open it then. I will open that in just one moment. I have no idea what he got. He's also very early. My birthday is not for like... I mean, it's a little less than a month away now, but it's not for like a month. He's very early. He does this to me. He likes to just spoil me with things leading up to my birthday. It's honestly lovely, but also I'm like, no, I feel so bad. Okay, I think... Alright, let me just get this little section here. We'll do whatever cleanup we need to in a moment. Okay. Hold on, I just saw from this angle, I didn't actually paint that. Oh my goodness, please. There we go. Alright, I think we're now fully painted on that one side. I do actually really like how vibrant and purple that is. I've used an airbrush a little bit, but not a huge amount. Alright, let's see what it is that he got for me. Because I have no idea what's in this. Let me allow me to use my raw strength to open this. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, this is totally appropriate to open on stream. Ooh, okay. Hold on, let me close this paint. Let me shift him over there. You are looking lovely, my dear. Excellent. And look what I just got. Ah, he's so cool. He's also huge. All right, here, let me show you from this way. So, Chaos Cultist got me for my birthday an unpainted, I think these are the McFarlane. Yes, this is a McFarlane Toys Dark Tide. Oop, I just bumped my camera, hold on. Dark Tide Ogrin, which I assume probably means there might be some other ones coming as well, which I'm very excited for because I assume they made more than just the Ogrin. And this could be something fun to paint on the channel at some point. So, yeah, that is really exciting. Thank you, Chaos Cultist. I love it. The sculpt on the face is actually really good. Here, hold on. Oh, hold on. Let me get him out of the circle. Let me see. Can I zoom in and get him out of there? Like, it's actually a really good sculpt. Now, I am still very partial to Joy Toy, of course, but I do like the fact that McFarlane does these artist-proof figures, which means that they don't have any paint on them themselves, and therefore means I can actually, like, paint them if I want to. Can I open this? I mean, I guess I can. I've already technically opened the box. Should we open him out of the packaging? Because I feel like that could be fun. Or should I leave him in there until... You know what? I'm going to leave him in there because I don't know if we want to use it. Like, I don't know if we're going to end up using this one for a video or not. So I'm going to leave him in here. But this is really cool, and thank you, Chaos Cultist. I love it. All right, he's going to sit over here and guard. Okay, buddy. You watch while I paint more Tyranids. Hello, Chipster. Welcome to the stream. Oh, that sounds fun, Michael. I can totally see that. Hello, also LS Vemir? LS? Hopefully I said that right. I'm so sorry if I didn't. Alright, this is looking lovely. We definitely have some stuff that we'll need to fix, but I am quite satisfied with how we're looking. I'm going to go ahead and work on the interior of the mouth a little bit more because there's a lot of rows of teeth and a lot of gums that all need color. And we'll also get his, like, little scary tongue sticking out his mouth. Alright, I think that's looking good on that side. I'm not really noticing a huge amount of, like, brassiere inside anymore on that side, so I'm gonna move on. He's really cool.
I am glad you like him. I am adjusting camera.
Oh, please, yes.
Continue to work.
Oh, I hadn't zoomed back in.
Go.
Thank you.
I'm also going to pull back a little bit because I know you prefer to paint closer to yourself.
A little bit, yes.
So what I can do is I can do that.
Got it. Thank you.
Sort of figuring out a good angle here. I'll be adjusting everything in a second.
Yep.
Oh, those were loose as hell.
Oh, did one of my brackets come a little bit loose?
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
There we go. Feeling a bit better about that.
Oh, well, Chipster, I hope that you get plenty of cheering up while you're hanging out with us today. I'm sorry that you sounds like you might be having a little bit of a bad day. I don't know if I will be doing, what I will be doing in regards to dioramas or anything like that on stream in the meantime. But I do really like, I can't really tell you much about the World of Tanks tabletop game other than I've looked at it once. I have unboxed it on the channel as one of my actually earliest videos. And beyond that, I have not done much else with it. What I ended up doing was just delving more into the digital version, which is why I've played that a little bit. But I do really like the models, and I think the components that come within the game are very nice. And honestly, from what I've heard, it's a very well put together game. I've just not tried it too much myself. What I'm actually considering in regards to tank games in the near future is Flames of War. I saw that there was a recent German starter set that was relatively new, that was at my local game store for Flames of War, and it really had me intrigued, so I might be doing something with that. But right now, my main focus is going to be my Tyranids, mostly because I've really been enjoying playing some patrol games of 10th edition, and I just want to keep making sure that this army gets painted up, because I think the models are just really, really fun. But we will be coming back to tanks and all of that kind of stuff in the very near future as well, so stay tuned for more. I really enjoy that kind of stuff, so it's definitely something I want to continue pursuing. I just have a couple of more specific priorities at the moment. Just trying to get inside the mouth. Make sure we're not missing the roof of his mouth or anything like that. I don't want any awkward, unpainted areas peeking out. God, the cleanup in here is gonna be a bitch. Like, it's gonna be such a bitch. But hopefully it'll be worth it and look really cool in the end. Alright, let's keep working on the outside of the tentacles now. Moving a bunch of paint around. Don't want it to pool too heavily and lose some of our cool details. There we go. Got there, it's looking good. I will be back with you guys in just a moment because there's just a lot of area to cover with this color, and because of how contrast works, I just want to make sure that I'm not letting anything pool too much, and then I'm getting even flat coverage so that nothing is looking too splotchy or uneven. So I do apologize. I know you guys are probably chatting away, got stuff to tell me, and I will look at it very, very shortly. Water, a little bit more paint. There we go. Delicately go up to the edge there. Alright, that is looking good. Make sure we got all these edges in this last final tentacle, which is holding a poor dear Space Marine arm. Kinda needs that, doesn't he? Well, too bad. I've taken it. Considering the only Space Marines I've been able to kill with my Nids so far have been the little Flamer boys and none of the Terminators, I think this is appropriate. Although he has tanked some of the Terminators. That has been nice. Is that... Okay, that's not part of the tentacle, but I think... Yeah, that is... It's cool. I do like the Space Marine's hand. I don't know how well you guys can tell, but the Space Marine's hand is actually, like, holding this tendril as it got ripped off. That looks good. I think we're doing pretty well. Get a little bit of pink there. More there. Okay. Yes. Oh, nope, I completely forgot that tentacle. There we go. Thankfully, Doomfire Magenta is a little bit more opaque than some of the other ones, so it doesn't seem like it has as much of a blotting issue as some other colors can, which is nice. Which means as I do this touch-up, it's not coming out like super uneven or weird looking, you know? There's another little bit that I forgot. there, a little bit there. Just a lot of on the edges. Okay, I think we're good now. I'm gonna set her down. In just a second. All right, I think we're good. I think that is looking really good. Getting all the pink out of my brush. Oh, well, Diggs, I hope your uploads go well, and I completely understand if you need to pop in and out to take care of that. That makes total sense to me. Also, hello, Kenny. Welcome to the stream. Actually, I don't know if I've said hello to you before, and if I did, I apologize. I feel like it's just the first time I've seen you speaking a little bit. Okay, let's see. Oh, you're currently making a display base for your Tyranid Prime. That sounds really awesome, Kenny. I'm glad that it's coming out exactly how you want it to. I am planning on painting the teeth, Chipster. I definitely will be. I'm going to be repriming them, and then we're going to be doing them up in some bone color tone to make them a little bit more organic. Let's see. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Partworks. So far, in my experience with the patrol games, because the Space Marine patrol just has 7 Terminators in it, I have found it a little bit difficult to get through them with my Tyranids. I've made some progress, but it's tough. I do feel like, as per usual, Games Workshop has definitely prioritized the Space Marines, but it's not dissuading me from enjoying my Tyranids, and I am certainly enjoying painting them, and I'm very happy with how terrifying this looks. It's gonna look really good. I think all of that is just his hand, so I don't think I need to worry about— oh! I did just notice one small section that I forgot. Where is it? I just saw it. I literally just saw— there it is. This little tentacle. I thought I had got the full tentacle wrapping around the arm, and apparently I did not. Alright, now I think we're okay. Yeah, alright. We'll let that continue to dry, and then we'll move on. I don't think there's anything else that I want to do in pink until later. We are going to be doing these things in pink, where you can see the exposed muscle, I guess, of the creature. But I don't think I want to do that until— actually, should I? No, I won't do that after I'm done putting the purple on. So I think we're going to just let it dry for right now. That's really cool, Chipster. Comic-Con would be very fun to go to. Thank you for subscribing, Jean Carden. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Oh, also, Noble Doc, I see that you've said something. Hold on. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but another cool detail on the Psychopage is the Space Marine skull. Oh, yes, I did notice that. I actually— oh, and thank you, because I actually do want this to be in pink as well. But I did notice that, actually, as I was cleaning it up. I think you can see it better from this angle. There it is. Look at that little human skull in there. You can see the little impression of it. Isn't that cool? That is a really nice little detail. All right. And also, I'm really glad you pointed that out, because I do actually want to make that pink. So thank you, Noble Doc. You are very noble indeed. Alright, let's get this bad boy flipped upside down. Get a little bit of our extra paint off. Working on getting the underside of this little gut hanging down. But I want to be very careful not to get any of this pink on the green. I think I have been successful. Alright, cool. Thank you for reminding me of that. Oh, that sounds fun, Chipster. Good luck with that. I think you'll be able to manage it. I definitely think there's ways to make it a little bit, like, more transparent. See a small little section that I missed, so I'm gonna see if I can sneak in here and raise it with a little bit of paint. There we go. There we go. Alright, cool. How are my tentacles looking? Honestly, pretty darn good. Now, do I want to do anything else with them before I move on? I'm debating a little bit of a wash. Doomfire Pink, like I mentioned earlier, is a little bit opaque. And I'm not getting a huge amount of like shadows versus highlights, so I'm debating doing a little bit of either a dry brush, and I'm looking at my paints to see what color I might do this in, or if I just want to apply a wash of Carapace Crimson. Maybe a spot wash. Oh man, the parts work. That sounds great. Also, no, I said hello to Jean. You're right. You know, it's funny that is one of our new subscribers, because I've been rewatching with Chaos Cultist, Outlaw Star, because I think I've seen like half of the season. I don't know if I've actually seen the conclusion of it. And it's a really good series if you've not watched it. I really enjoy it. The ship design is super cool, and I really enjoy the characters. So we've been rewatching it, and his name is Gene Starwind. So your name reminded me of that. Tempest, that sounds awesome. Are you gonna put him on like a big, I'm assuming this is like a big like plinth type base, like the display type for when you're doing Golden Demon-esque style painting? That will be really cool. Alright, Alright, I do want to see what Carapace Crimson's gonna look like on the inside a little bit, just to deepen that. So let me grab... Here? Nope, that's Seraphim Sepia. This one then... Yes. Alright, I want to see how dark this makes it. Okay? That's the plan. Do I feel like that is helping? I'm not really sure that it's done anything. It's darkening it. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna thinly glaze this over top everything. Deepen some of the recesses, and that way when we come back in and do the wash, or the cleanup of the teeth, which is gonna be tedious as heck, it'll stand out even more. Alright, that is looking good. Let's continue to move the paint around so it doesn't fool too much. But I do think this is adding a little bit of the depth that I was missing. I'm not 100% sure you guys can tell, but I can in real life, at least. Chew on my brush, and we will keep going. Alright, that looks pretty darn good. I think that solves everything. That gets everything painted. Oh yeah. Alright, I think I like that. I've darkened it a little bit, made him a bit more scary. But I like the depth, especially like... I mean, you're not gonna really see it that much on the bottom, but whatever. Alright, I think... now that's actually everything. Alright, now he needs to dry. Let that settle. Get that little section that we missed. Keep moving paint around. Alright. I think that's good. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing any drool or mucus effects. I haven't really decided yet. Oh man, Robotech was good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that's turning out. I'm going to let it dry, and then we're going to do... I actually think I have to do a cleanup step next, because I need to clean up this section for there. But, you know, in the meantime, we can at least get started on some of the purple in, like, back. So let's work on that a little bit while we let the mouth dry. I think that'll go well. Make sure I get all the pink out of my brush. Macross was another really great one. Oh, do you have the RPG books for Macross and Robotech? That's awesome. That sounds super cool. I've never played the either of those RPG systems. Alright, let's work on his little butt panels, huh? I'm so nervous about this. It's going smoothly so far, but this is a small little section. Nope, nope, I'm getting it on my fingers. Alright, we're just gonna let that dry. Okay, we didn't fuck it up too much. You know what? That makes total sense, his and her HHQ. I think rolling up characters is one of those things that, like, I don't know, it's to me, it's the same as when I go into a video game and I, like, restart it every now and then to just completely do the character creation process. I feel like it's a similar concept that is just really cathartic because then you're, you know, sussing out compositions of, you know, stats that you can put into this character to decide what are they going to be able to do, what cool things could I do with them in this, like, universe, and I always think that's really fun. Courage Pope, you are completely welcome. I am really, really glad that it is helping. Do you do a lot of gardening, Dix? Is that your like, I'm not sure I'm specifically familiar with your outdoor channel. I know you've done, like, the miniatures and dioramas and stuff, but do you do, like, do you have, like, a gardening channel or something like that? Because that sounds amazing. I have no green thumb whatsoever. I'm gonna use a little, I'm gonna switch to a little bit of a smaller brush because I want to get the edges. Oh, we completely forgot to get the tip of that too. I think it's gonna end up being the most tedious on this. It's got so many fine edges. For all the chitting. And I can't have the paint be too wet, because otherwise it'll run all over the place as I paint it, but it also can't be too dry, because then it'll be too dark. that is looking okay. I'm going to use the stability of the surface of my desk to just get some more paint and then try to paint this, because it's not wanting. My brush is not wet enough with paint. All right, there we go. Right, that worked. Let's come over here to this side. Fully dry? Probably not. Oops, sorry. I banged the camera. And I'm also sorry if you can't see this right now, but I need to hold it like this. Okay. That is proof of concept for his butt. I think it looks really good. I'm very happy. Now we just gotta paint the rest of him. Hello, Hari. Welcome to the stream. Lovely to have you here. Alright. I am feeling pretty satisfied with that. I think I'm gonna do a little... I really want to work on the cleanup on his mouth, but I feel like that's going to be really boring. But I really want to work on it because it's like, I feel like I need to fix that before I can move on comfortably and actually start working on things. So here we go. Nice. I am so glad that you got your latest video uploaded. That's always a satisfying accomplishment. Places we do not want it. Oh, very nice. Oh, I totally understand that his and her HQ. Or HHQ. Alright, the interior of his mouth is not completely dry yet, but we're getting there. Where did I put any of the... I don't think I put any on my palette with my cleanup color. This is gonna be so time consuming, but super satisfying when it's done. You know what? I'm gonna switch to Wraithbone. Working on teeth, right? We should prime it up in Wraithbone, and then that way it'll have a little bit of a warmer color tone, even if my paint doesn't stick to it. Like skeleton horn can sometimes be a little hard to cling to sharp edges, so this will give it a little bit more of a teeth look without having to worry about that as much, because it's got a bit more yellow to it. Oh yeah. Hell yeah, this is looking so cool. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm off screen completely. I was bringing it very close to myself to get some work done. My bad. All right. All we want to use this color on right now are the teeth. There we go. Ooh, I have not seen the newest Legion Battle Force list. What does the list include? The only thing Star Wars that I've looked at very recently has been the newest Ahsoka trailer, which I am so hyped for that to come out. Like, August 23rd can't get here sooner because I really want to watch Ahsoka. I think it's going to be amazing. I love every single character they have featured in the trailer so far, and I am really, really pumped to actually see like the continuation of both the Clone Wars and the Rebels storyline with these characters. Holy cow. Have you guys, oh, hello Dalton. Welcome to the stream. Leonardo, I actually prime with spray primer, predominantly. I will go up and I'll do cleanup stages, in which case, like, I'm having to go back over with my primer color to fix some areas where I got paint maybe where I didn't want it to, but otherwise I am predominantly actually a spray primer. I do have a airbrush and I could use it for priming, but I don't have it set up in a convenient way that makes like doing that easy as much as just grabbing a rattle can, shaking it, and going outside and priming it. I have not seen her in that much else, but I agree that Rosario Dawson is amazing. And have you guys seen how some people are fan theorizing that the Inquisitor that Ahsoka is fighting in the trailer could be... I've now completely blanked on her name. Let me check up. Barriss? Something Barriss. Let me see. Barriss. Star Wars. I don't remember her. That it could be Barriss Ophi from the Clone Wars, which is the Padawan that framed Ahsoka for the bombing of the Jedi Temple. And if that is the case, because she didn't die, she just got put into stasis, I could totally see the Emperor after he is taken over. Hell, I could even see Darth Vader just outright being like, yo, I know we put a bunch of people in stasis who were, you know, anti the Jedi Council. Can I turn those people into my Inquisitors? Oh great, Palpatine. And I could see him like doing that and being okay with it. So I really hope that the Inquisitor that Ahsoka is fighting in the trailer ends up being Barriss. Because if it is, I think that is just so good, and I appreciate you, Filoni. I appreciate you for doing that. I want to see that. I just want to see that story concluded. You know, I want to see her have to come to terms with Barriss and all of that. It's just so good. It'd be so good. Let's start working on the interior teeth. A little bit more water, I think, on my brush. Oh, that sounds cool, Michael. I completely agree. You should totally order the, Oh, you just did. Sorry, I misread that. I thought you were saying that you need to order it, not that you had just ordered the new ATST model. That is amazing. Michael, my prediction for the Warhammer livestream is actually going to be Tyranid models. At least that's the rumor that I've heard. That we're just gonna get a reveal of a bunch of new Tyranid models, which I'm hyped for. I am loving the newest collection so far, obviously. And yeah, I want more, so I'm excited. GW, bring it on. Don't give me more Space Marines, please. Thank you. Like, Space Marines are lovely, but we have plenty of them. Give me the Xeno. And also, please give me some Xeno terrain. I would love a reveal of some Xeno terrain. That would be fantastic. Hold on. Got a little bit too much paint. Not so bad. Alright, not so bad, not so bad. Run along nicely. I'm really glad that I switched over to Wraithbone for this. I think it just immediately gives it more of a teeth vibe. Oh my god! Darkwing Duck is amazing, Chipster. Such a super amazing classic cartoon that I absolutely adore. Darkwing Duck was amazing. So good, so good, so good. Where can you watch that? Is it on like Hulu or Netflix or something? Or oh no, I guess it would be on Disney Plus, wouldn't it? Because Darkwing Duck is a Disney. Dude, I should watch that. I feel like I'm just tapping my brush on these spikes. It kind of amuses me. Oh my god, also, yes, SWAT Cats was also amazing. Dude, two classic cartoons that I absolutely loved that used a lot of purple in their designs, if I remember correctly. SWAT Cats may have been, I guess, more blue, but Darkwing Duck certainly had a lot of purple and purple. Alright, I clearly need caffeine. So, I will be right back with you guys in just a moment. I'm going to go grab myself a soda. We'll continue working on the cleanup of the teeth, which I actually think is coming out really cool and makes him look extremely terrifying. Like, look at that. If that was coming at you, I mean, imagine him being fully painted and beautiful. But it'd be very scary. You would not want that maw to gobble you up, even though he really, really wants to. Mikey, I think the tentacles are coming along quite well. I have started working on the spike cleanup. I don't think I'm going to do these spikes as teeth. I think I'm just going to do the interior ones. Because these ones, I don't know. Maybe I should do them all. I don't know. It would be so tedious. But I will be right back. I am going to go ahead and grab myself a drink real quick. So I'll be back soon. No, Mikey, I'm afraid that he is absolutely going to want to eat you no matter what, even if you aren't a psyker. He does not care. He just wants to consume and turn you into biomass, because that is what the Hive commands. So I'm afraid you're doomed. Just absolutely, absolutely doomed. There is no escape. His consumption. Alright, real quick, I'm switching back over to the Gracier, because I'm going to clean up the Chitin, which needs to be in that color tone for consistency's sake, before we move back over to our Wraithbone color. Just figured I'd get these while I could. Well, I mean, I can do it at any time, but I want to switch. I want to switch, do this cleanup, get that done, and then basically just be doing the teeth for the remainder of the stream. I think that's the plan at this point. Because I'm really nervous about painting that purple. I don't know why, but I'm really nervous about it being clean and even, so I'm avoiding it. That is what I've concluded. It's not bad. We got a little bit of pink here. Go. I'm not as familiar with the Howard the Duck cartoon. I've seen some of his comics, and I know of him from my studies in school because I studied comic book art, and so he came up in like the history classes and such. But that's my familiarity with Howard the Duck outside of like the Marvel movies, you know. I love Batman the Animated Series, though, Michael, and Gargoyles. Gargoyles was fucking amazing. There is an era of, like, cartoons. Not that modern cartoons are in any way bad or, like, aren't cool enough or anything like that, but there is something missing from, like, the 90s to 2000s, mid-2000s cartoons that I do really, really miss. And I guess maybe also, like, I guess some of them are a little bit later than that, but I feel like 90s to the 2010s sort of covers the era of cartoons that I miss the most. Like, I also just miss stuff like Hey Arnold, you know? Or As Told by Ginger, which was not a very popular one, but I absolutely loved. Like, I missed those kinds of things as well. But SWAT Cats and, like, Darkwing Duck and just so many good shows out there that are just no longer around. Although I don't know if I really want them to bring them back because I feel like they're just going to rehash them into the ground as they do a variety of other things modernly. Show them on camera for you guys and start going. Go. Alright, let's go ahead and get the arm of our Space Marine. And get him painted up later as a Hobby Knight. As is per usual for all of my Chaos and Xeno forces to be slaying my Hobby Knights. They deal with a lot of threats in their region of space. Thank you for subscribing, Sean Wu. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Skrillis, the main tip that I can give you for using your airbrush, if you're scared to use it, is just to dive straight in. I would suggest finding a model that you are okay with using as a tester to experiment and just make yourself comfortable with using it. And then once you have done that, you can either keep using other models to continue to build up your confidence until you are very, very just like comfortable with the tool. But outside of that, I think it's just about diving in and practicing. I have the same problem. I get really scared to use my own airbrush. I forgot the word for a second, even though it's on screen. And I get you. I feel you. I understand completely. But I think it is just about like biting the bullet and diving into it. Like, I'm gonna try to bust my airbrush back out potentially when I paint up my Panzer. I think that's the next time I'm gonna bring it out. Let's go ahead and be kind of delicate about this. We don't want to unpaint something we want to be left pink, but I do want to make sure we get all of this armor cleaned up for the red it'll be taking later. Well, definitely, I mean, that is definitely the best way to, I think, I think prime, using it to prime is like a very good way to use it, but you do just kind of gotta jump in, you know? So find, like, go, like, my suggestion, this is what, I looked through my collection and I was like, okay, what's something that I think this will be good to use on? Because I wanted to start with something kind of larger to use the airbrush on rather than something smaller, because I didn't want to use it to prime just like super small things. So I picked something larger that I was like, you know what, if I fuck this up, I'll be less upset than I would if it was something else, because it's not something specifically for my armies in any of the games that I'm running. It is just something that I bought because I thought it was cool. So let me test it on it. And that's what I did when I painted, sorry, I was burping a little bit. When I painted a troll, is I used the airbrush for that. And it helped. I just had to jump in. Yeah, I wouldn't use it on sisters. Sisters are too tiny and detailed, in my opinion, for airbrush, at least at like where I am skill-wise with one. So I completely understand why you might be scared to use it on your sisters. But I mean, I guess maybe test it on one of their tanks, if you have it on that, or a Paragon Warsuit perhaps might be a better place. But let's see, you said, oh, terrain? Yes, Skrillus, use it. That is a perfect item to test it on. Completely perfect item to test airbrushing on. In fact, that is like honestly almost probably a perfect thing to test it on, because it gives you a lot of surface area to experiment. You can try doing some detail work on the terrain pieces with the airbrush, also just doing much larger priming uses of it and getting, you know, used to control and everything. And if your terrain gets fucked up because you get too close and you melt it a little bit or something like that, like, because I know that's always like a concern, it's not going to be nearly as big of a deal because it's terrain. Who cares? It's being battle damaged, you know? So yeah, absolutely test it out on terrain. That is a perfect way to do it. Oops, I got a little bit of paint on his tongue, and I do not want to forget to fix that, so hold on. Okay. A little unfortunate, but that's okay. All right, now I think we can I work back on the grays here. Oh, I forgot some pink there too. Hold on. I mean, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal because it's on the bottom of them, and I don't think we would have ever noticed it, but you can see it right there. There we go. Now we are fixed up. That's true. You can, and one of the benefits to the airbrush is it is thin enough that you can just paint back over top of it. It's honestly one of the reasons I like working with contrast paint so much, is because it's the same concept. It's so thin that if you do mess up and you need to do a cleanup step or something like that, or you just want, you're like, I hate this and I need to reprime it and fix it, you can without building up too many layers and causing that really gross buildup that can sometimes happen on miniatures. I know back in the day, one of the things that actually discouraged me from painting was I didn't thin my paints enough. And so whenever I was painting, I'd end up caking on way more acrylic paint than I meant to, and it really ended up looking bad. So I stopped painting for that reason. And when contrast paint came out, it really, like... Basically, it functioned like how I thought paint should without having to be thinned. And I liked it. And I've just stuck with it ever since. Oh my god, it looks so cool. With the teeth getting cleaned up and, like, standing out really distinctly. Like, does it not look terrifying? Like, little pinpricks that are just gonna destroy you? Chipster, I completely understand that. I have heard some people, when they, like, really start getting comfortable with their airbrush, they can just bust out a whole bunch of really cool things, and it's seamless, and it's no effort on their part, and I completely am jealous of that level of just familiarity with your tool. Also, hello, John. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, no, I decided to go a little bit earlier today. I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of downtime later because tomorrow I'm going to Open Sauce and it's going to be very, very busy. I'm very, very excited about it, but I imagine I'm going to be exhausted over the weekend. So I just wanted to get the stream in a little bit earlier and have a good time with it. Alright, that is looking really, really nice. Flip it upside down and do the other side. Very carefully. I need a bit more moisture. There we go. See, that's my biggest problem when I'm using standard paints, is I don't get enough water into my brushes. And it always causes problems. Good, that's looking good though. What I need to do is I actually need to learn to use my Redgrass Games wet palette. They actually sent me one ages ago, but I don't think it works super well for contrast paints, so I don't use it very often, but I feel like on these cleanup stages, it probably would save me so much time, because it helped me keep my palette, you know, wet, so the paint would be wet. That one. Good lord. So tiny. Some of these little spiky spikes. And they make it... Let me just see. Alright, I think that's looking good. I'm not doing those ones. There's... Okay. It's looking good. I think that is all of the teeth on that side. Except for these two tiny, tiny, tiny ones right here. Do you guys ever have the problem where you'll be looking at something and then you just fucking go cross-eyed because you're like, it's a tiny little point and you're like, what am I staring at? So you just completely completely go cross-eyed because that's what's happening to me right now. Masking tape and blue tack. That makes total sense, Chipster. Dude, the Terminators are so OP right now in the game. My goodness. Alright, we're switching back over to some grays here. Just to add a little bit of some slight variety, because I did not finish cleaning up things that are in his tentacles. So let's keep working on that. Just also holding him very delicately because I don't want to accidentally snap any of his legs off. That would be a disaster. And I'd be very upset. Pretty good, pretty clean. Look at the hand though. This is where things get tricky. And lighting becomes the concern. Oh boy, okay. Alright, wish me luck going in. Alright, I think that is the hand. Now we just gotta get this little section right here. There we go, very good, that's looking good. I see it. Okay, that. That's looking as well. I will check on you guys in chat in just a moment. I'm dealing with this complex cleanup. And then I'll be back with you guys in a second. Sorry for the slight delay. I just want this to, I want this to look good, you know? It's one of the big monster creatures in my army, so I want him to look scary and cool simultaneously. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm gonna take a small break to check in on you guys. Yes, this is the pink color that I was talking about using. It's Doomfire Magenta. So, that's the color. But I also put a Carroburg Crimson wash over top to darken it, and which is why you're seeing like a lot more of these darker color tones in the recesses. Because I put a wash over top of it to deepen it even further. Because I wanted it was a feeling a little too static in its consistency. Faces are hard, Skrillus. So I don't beat yourself up too much about that. Yeah, contrast paints are great through an airbrush from my understanding. I've used it a little bit. I used Aethermatic Blue through it. That's what I ended up doing for the base coat of my of the troll that I worked on the channel when I was experimenting with my airbrush is I ended up putting Aethermatic Blue through the color, like through it, and it turned out really nice. I want to try some of these other colors, like Doomfire Magenta, for example, is one that I'd really like to try through an airbrush because it does have a little bit less transparency than some of the other contrast colors, and I'm curious what that's going to do through the airbrush. Will it gain transparency because of the way that it's being sprayed on there, or is it going to end up being like just as matte as previously? Interesting. Oh yeah, don't worry about like misguessing GW paint names. They do really silly naming conventions for their colors. Actually, most art companies tend to. Obviously, there are a lot of brands that will have like lemon yellow and cadmium yellow and cadmium red and Phalos blue and all of these other colors because those are like just legit pigment colors. But you'll get into like wargaming for whatever reason. And I don't know what the fuck it is about wargame colors and why they don't like to use the just accepted color names for things. I think Vallejo does. Vallejo might be like one of the few brands that I know of that I think literally has like Prussian blue as a color. And I don't know if it is simply because they do the historical colors and therefore they can like legally use the color names. I don't know what it is, but they don't use normal color names for them and it drives me absolutely bonkers. And I wish they just would because some of the colors are legitimately just an existing color. I know it's because they slightly changed the pigment ratios and that's why they're able to do it, but like, good lord. Yeah, I figured it was something to do with copywriting, but it's really obnoxious because like, I'm pretty sure this yellow color tone is just an existing yellow color tone in like golden or any other standard artist brand of paint. But instead, it's Uriel yellow in Citadels. And while that is fun in some instances, because then you get to say things like Doomfire Magenta, but like, this could just be magenta. It could just be easily magenta and just be done. Oh, you're trying to prime them in red with an with an airbrush, or are you trying to prime them in red with like a spray primer? Because yeah, the primers are pretty expensive. That yellow should be called melted butter. You know what? That's legit, and I don't blame you for wanting to call it melted butter. They changed some of them, but they still have, like, Army Painter still has the problem where they also end up still kind of going with some, like, weird color names. And I get it's to be slightly thematic. So, like, for example, I think Army Painter, when they have their... Okay, this is where it bothers me. I'm going to use actually a perfect example of where and why this bothers me. Army Painter has an entire line of just standard war paints, right? Like, they've got their war paint line. But they also do a variety of branding that is tied to Dungeons & Dragons explicitly. And when they do this, they literally, in their packaging, will tell you that the colors that are included in this are the equivalent of whatever war paints that already exist and have names, but they decided to thematically change the name's colors, or the colors' names, to fit the D&D theme. So instead of having, like... Well, okay, this one's already called Dragon Red, but, like, instead of this just being called Red, it's called Dragon Red. And they do that all of the time, and it really, like, it bothers me, because I'm like, guys, just please call them standard colors. This is, like, cadmium red. This is, like, a basic cadmium red. Just fucking call it that. It would make it so that... I think part of the other thing is, too, is they don't, like... Games Workshop and some of these other companies, I'm pretty sure, don't want you realizing that you can just go out and buy standard artist acrylic paints And if you thin them down properly, you can just use them on your miniatures and not have to buy branded specific paints. As much as I love supporting them and I will continue to buy them, in theory, you don't have to spend the like $3 or $4 on this tiny bottle. Instead, you could spend $3 or $4, maybe a little bit more, on a big tube of paint that's gonna last you like infinitely longer. And I think that's partially also why they do like the weird naming. It's for copyright and so that they can like convince you that you shouldn't use those other colors. Oh yeah, the D&D sets are really awesome because they do include miniatures. I love when the companies do that, where they're giving you like, hey, here's a hobbyist starter set. Let's get you started with some paints. By the way, have you bought 0 miniatures yet for it? Well, don't worry, we've got one in here for you, or even multiple sometimes. I actually really like when they do that kind of stuff. All right, let's keep working. I have been dilly-dallying and just chatting. I should continue working on the teeth. Make sure my tip of my brush is nice and pointy. There we go. Oh yeah, this is looking really sick. I do have a few more spikes right here to get. And then, of course, some on this lower tentacle. Alright, there's that. Yeah, I think the exterior ones I'm going to not do up in the spiky color. It's just the ones that are facing inwards. Also because that will save me a little bit of time, because I now need to clean up all the teeth in his really wide mouth. This is so nerve-wracking. Let's see if I can clean that up. A little bit of wraith bone where I don't want it to. Alright, no, it looks like it's already dried. So in that case, we're just gonna dab it with a little bit of pink. I think this thing, doesn't this thing like need a lot more teeth in order to be from the movie Teeth? I mean, it does. I get what you're saying, though. I do get what you're saying. That did not at all do what I wanted it to. Please cover that tiny bit of wraith bone. What are you doing? Come on. Come on, without hitting the teeth, please. not... I know I definitely have color on there. Oh, I hate when that happens. I hate when you get a spot where you're like, I can't hit that with color, even though it definitely should be. Even though I swear I've also gone over it like a bazillion times now. Alright, I think I got it. I think I covered it. Hey! 5 out of 5 videos have started to upload. That is awesome. Chipster, we'll see you when you get back. No worries. Also, Diggs, I am glad that you got everything up. That is excellent. Patience really is, I think, one of the key things to succeeding and doing well and getting the results that you're looking for in this hobby. Without a doubt. There are certain things that you could absolutely rush, and there are definitely ways to increase the speed in which you are able to accomplish things, but there are some things that do require just time, and sometimes you just need a little bit of patience to get stuff done the way that you really, really want them or expect them to happen. That is very true. We are going to finish working on this arm over here, because I did not get this thumb. Keep putting my hand down in some like moisture that I think I dripped onto my palette, and I keep thinking it is paint, but it is not. It is just water. I don't know why my throat started to go out there, but it did. That makes sense, Dix. Yay, the Space Marine's thumb has been painted. Maybe he shouldn't have held on quite so tightly to this tendril. Then he wouldn't have lost his arm. It's not looking bad. I think there's a little bit of pink left on the hand that I want to get rid of there. There we go. Whoop. Bumping the camera. Sorry about that. Hello, Shrek. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well. Hello.
I just wanted to come see how it's going.
It is going well. I am working on priming the teeth back up because I want them to really stand out. Yes. I'm not doing these spikes.
I think that's fine.
But I'm doing the interior ones because they look more like teeth.
Yep.
And I just think that'll help him pop. I also put a little bit of a wash on it. You can see it in the recesses.
Yeah, I see the shade.
I did a Caribou Crimson wash over top of it to help deepen it. And then I did a test on his butt of the purple.
Oh yeah, that's gonna look great.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look lovely. Also, did you notice? I don't know if you saw this because I don't know if you looked, but if you look, yeah, the head in the gut right there. Can you see the shape of the?
Oh yeah, no, great? I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a lovely little touch into it. Yeah, I'm probably going to wrap up here soon, just because I'm doing mostly a cleanup thing and I'm getting a little tired. But we'll see how I'll see how I'm going. All right, let's keep painting. Skrills, also to answer your question, what do you think about gloves versus no gloves when painting? Well, obviously I don't paint with gloves on. I do put gloves on when I'm spray priming something, especially if I think it's something where I'm going to end up accidentally getting potential paint on my hand. Like for example, when I am holding, I don't know if I have any here. But when I'm holding like my Redgrass Gamers, this is not the same type, but like if I'm holding a handle like this and I'm priming and I think, oh, well, my thumb is definitely going to get hit because there's a chance that the primer will get a little below where I'm aiming and everything because of the angle of the spray and everything, then yes, I will put gloves on when I remember to. But I also often forget to put gloves on and therefore have definitely primed my hands. I would definitely encourage everybody to wear gloves when priming because the aerosols in spray primer especially can be not necessarily the best thing to get on your skin. I don't think the paint itself is problematic, but like the aerosol fumes and the accelerant is probably the bigger problem there. So yeah, when you're priming, I would definitely say paint with or use gloves. When it comes to painting, so there are definitely benefits in my personal experience for wanting to wear gloves when painting. Your hands produce a lot of natural oils, and over time, if you are handling a model like so, you can eventually start to rub your paint off because of the oils on your fingers. You'll notice that when I am holding this guy in my hand, I'm predominantly only ever holding him in a section of the model where I have where I've not painted him yet. Like, sure, there's paint on this because I primed him, but this is my primer color. And so when I'm gripping him, I do try to maintain a hold onto that section because the primer is the least likely thing to be coming off. It is meant to be more resilient than the other types of paints. But you can still touch, the model where the paint is. You just want to be careful of not doing it when it's too soon after you've painted it, because that will definitely add to the risk of you lifting your paint back off. Contrast paints, in my experience, can sometimes be especially prone to this. I have definitely been holding something in my hand previously and taken the contrast paint right back off because I started to sweat and I reactivated the paint a little bit and yeah, it wasn't dry fully in the beginning and so it lifted. But I've not really experienced that too much, and so when I'm painting things, I don't tend to use gloves, just when I'm priming. Alright, I think there was a section, there it is. I was like, I know there was a section of this bottom tooth where I didn't get all of the great bone. Hopefully that helps. I know I went kind of long-winded on that, but I hope that helps. Also, Jay Barnes, I don't think I said welcome to you for subscribing, so thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. Hope you have a great time here. Mikey, thank you for stopping by. Have a lovely rest of your day. I hope you get some rest and get the rest of the things that you need to get done. Handles are fantastic. Yeah, if you have a painting handle, I definitely recommend using it. The only reason I'm not using one on this guy is because he's a little larger than I think what sometimes my handles will support. All right, let's go ahead and keep working on the teeth. My problem at this point is just getting them at a right angle where you guys can still see, I can see, and I'm not messing anything up. And it's so tough. Like, I want to get this other side, but I'm not really sure how to hold him where I can see. I guess you guys are gonna have to sacrifice maybe seeing everything exactly. 'Cause... Oh, fuck! Hold on. I mean, this isn't that big of a deal. I can always pry back over it, but I don't want to build up too much paint. Now let's get my other brush. Suck up all the water. Alright, I'm just gonna repaint the tongue at the end, because I keep bonking it with paint. Alright, clearly I will need to stop soon. Hello, Sean! Welcome to the stream. Lovely to have you here. This is working a little bit better. Always make sure the tip of your brush is a nice fine point. Especially when painting teeth. Because my goodness, do you need it? It's coming along really, really well though. The 5th one is up and done! Woo, woo, woo! Way to go, Diggs. So glad that your videos are all uploaded. That makes sense, Michael. So when you are playing, are you doing like World of Tanks? Are you doing Flames of War? Are you doing Bolt Action? I'm not actually sure if Bolt Action has that many tanks in it, now that I say that. So what games are you playing with your historical figures? As somebody who doesn't play that many historical war games, I would love to know like what your favorite is, which one you like find the most enjoyable. Alright, that's looking really good. I'm going to switch back over to Graves here real quick because this is an excellent angle to take care of whatever he's holding in his other arm. I'm not actually sure it's part of the Space Marine or if it's just like debris. I think it might be a leg, but I'm not sure. Also, aw, Sean, thank you. You know what? I do need another tank. You're not wrong, sir. If I wasn't going to Open Sauce this weekend, I was actually considering going to Hobbies Unlimited to pick something new up for after when I paint my Panzer. But convention this weekend, and it should be really fun. I'm actually very excited. Still a little nervous. There's gonna be so many YouTubers there. It'll be the first con that I'm going to with like that many internet personalities. Is this just more of his arm, I wonder, or is this like his leg? I can't tell. It's definitely part of the Space Marine's limb, I think. Maybe he ripped I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm painting. You're a big fan of bolt action? And Blood Red Skies. Okay, I don't think I know Blood Red Skies. What setting is that one in? Or for specifically as a historical war game? I have some guesses, but I don't know if they're right. I can tell Martina to shut up and get out. I don't think I'm not gonna be rude to Martina. Are you kidding me? She's so delightful. Why I cannot, I would never. She's too much of a deer. Does she say shut up or get out in her intro? What? It's a World War II fighter. Okay. Blood Red Skies is a World War II fighter game. Nice. Is it focused more on fighting, like, planes? Is it, like, I'm assuming by fighter you mean, like fighter planes, correct? Just to make sure that I'm, like, understanding that correctly. Maybe this is just debris. I'm not really sure it's part of the Space Marine now that I say it. You know, I've been saying that, but I can't actually tell. That's why I'm trying to clean it up so I can actually identify it. I'll have to look and see what the art, like what GW did for in their official art. It really is amazing how much a little bit of moisture on your brush can do for you when you're trying to spread paint around. Yes, it just goes so much nicer. Alright, that's looking good. That's looking good. I don't think there's anything too much more that needs the grace here. I think we are just down predominantly to Wraithbone for the remaining teeth. Michael D, thank you for stopping by. It was lovely to have you here. Oh, dude, also have fun on your local store's Blood Bowl tournament tomorrow. That sounds amazing. Good luck, sir. Oh, I'm jealous. I love playing Blood Bowl. Okay, Keith, it is fighter planes. Okay, so you have 4 to 8 planes in your squadron. It was designed. Okay, I do recognize Andy Chambers' name. but I don't recognize what other games he may have actually worked on. His and hers, well, thank you for stopping back by. Suppose it's not necessarily a bad thing when grandpa's needed. That is for sure. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought she always greeted you with, like, how's it hanging, or, like, how you doing. Like, I thought it was just a generalized greeting. So, Thor, thank you for clarifying that. Because I also thought, I was like, I didn't think she was, like, telling you to shut up. It's not like shut up and sit down who are telling you to literally shut up and sit down while they tell you about video game, or not video games, board games. Which I still think is very hilarious and such a clever name for a channel. But, like, that would be, you know, pretending to be rude and not actually being. I didn't think she did that, which was great, because I was like, no, really? Surely she's not, like, a jerk like that, telling her audience to shut up. Oh, he worked on 2nd Ed Epic. Okay. Very cool. Oh boy. Okay, we're at the difficult parts where we actually have to get the teeth in the back of the mouth. I'm like gently swiping my brush across these teeth, and it is painstakingly tedious. Oh my gosh, but it is coming along. Look, once it focuses. I think it's looking like it's definitely giving it the impression I want. I just really need to get it more on this side. Just all about very, very light touches. A little bit too much. No! Get out of there, paint! Alright, well. We're gonna have a lot of little bit of touch up. This is gonna be a back and forth project with this mouth, I think. Which is probably why we're going to end it soon, because I will need to get real up close and have this in my face in order to actually see what I'm doing here in a bit. God damn it. Alright, I am definitely gonna have to stop soon. I'm getting too fiddly with my brush and I'm freaking out. My hand is shaking a little bit because I'm nervous now. I'm nervous about this delicate operation that I have to do. I really don't want to fuck it up. Okay, let me do this little bit of touch-up. Okay, I think I fixed the issues. And I think with that, I am probably going to call it because I'm getting a little shaky. I'm a little hungry, actually. I had onigiri for lunch, but I think because I absorbed it immediately, I'm actually starting to feel a little bit hungry again. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call today's stream. Now, just as a reminder, actually, before I do a reminder, I want to check through chat, see how you guys are doing. Sean, I know you would never be rude to her, and I understand you completely respect her skills, because I also respect her skills. The girl is freaking amazing, and I can't remember off the top of my head, so I do apologize to her partner, but he's also really good. Great, just like, I love their energy together. I really do like their energy together, and I really hope I can meet them tomorrow when I'm at Open Sauce. So, that makes total sense to me. Oh, he also worked on, oh, he looked like a space wolf back in the day. You know, I will have to look him up because I've never seen a picture of him. Good night, Michael. I hope you have a good evening. Oh, he also designed Necromunda and Gorka Morka. Okay, so he was one of the, like, OG designers then, I'm understanding. Got it. I had not realized. Okay, well, oh, he also designed the new Judge Dredd game. Very, very cool. So was Andy Chambers around when Adrian Smith was also doing art for Games Workshop a lot? Like, would they have been co-workers at the time? I mean, I guess I could look this up myself, but now I'm going to have you guys find out for me, because that's what you're here for. I mean, everybody can use some love, Skrills, so you know what? I appreciate that, and everybody also is hot fire. Every single one of you in chat, all of y'all are hot fire. You're amazing. Thank you for being here with me. Was Andy Chambers responsible for the grim darkness coming to the 40K? Because that would be really hilarious. Yes, look at my beautiful space bug. Isn't he turning out wonderful? We've actually made some decent progress today. We got all of his tentacles painted up. We did this little section down here as well, although I apparently forgot to wash it, so we'll apply that later. And then we started working on getting his little teeth in his mouth painted up. Because, you know, he just wants to eat you and turn you into biomass. Please focus, camera. Please. I know it's small. There we go. But I think the teeth are coming along very nicely. I'm very, very happy with this. I will probably continue working on him next week. But... oh! Okay, John Blanche is the one that I am most familiar with. I didn't know Rick Priestley. I'm not as familiar with Rick Priestley or Jervis Johnson, although that does sound vaguely familiar. All right. Well, that is very interesting information. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I am going to go ahead and call it. I'm a little bit tired. I've got a convention tomorrow. So for those of you that are familiar with the channel and know that we normally do streaming on Saturday, there will not be a stream tomorrow. I know, it's very upsetting, but I will be at Open Sauce, hopefully hanging out with a bunch of really cool science and maker YouTubers, because like Nerd Forge is going to be there, which is why we were talking about Martina. Evan and Caitlin's going to be there. Mark Rober's going to be there. William Osmond's going to be there. Red Nile's going to be there. There's a whole bunch of really cool science and maker savvy folk that are going to be at this convention. It's the first time they're having it, and if it's not super crowded and everything, I will probably try to be filming a little bit at it, so I'm sure you guys will be expecting me to post some things on social media tomorrow about it, so you guys can be looking forward to that. But because of that, we are not having a stream. Our next stream is going to be on Tuesday, starting at 1 p.m. I have a very specific thing planned for you guys then. I mentioned this yesterday when on stream, but I'm going to just throw it out there one more time. I was sent a really cool periodic table describing, basically, like, it had all of the Lego colors on it. And I think it's really neat. It's got a lot of really cool information on it, and it's from a company called We Love What You Build. So I'm going to be showcasing that on Tuesday, and then after we're done looking at that, I decided that I was going to go ahead and build something from Lego as well. So I'm going to be working on an Ninjago City build, which will be part of my Lego City down the line. And as you guys know, I really like working on that with you. So hope you're looking forward to that. You can expect that on Tuesday at 1 p.m. We will, of course, have a standard hobby news episode on Tuesday as well. That will be out as per usual at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can expect me to be gushing over whatever it is we are shown tomorrow on the Warhammer live stream, because there's going to be one tomorrow. We're just not covering it live on the channel because of the convention. So I am sorry for that, but it'll be fine. We'll talk about it on Tuesday. Anyways. Oh, Jervis Johnson wrote Blood Bowl. Then he is now my official favorite designer. That is, well, I mean, I guess that he probably hasn't worked on the more recent ones. But if he came up with Blood Bowl and worked on Blood Bowl, that is pretty amazing. I absolutely love, like, I'll have to look into it more because I love that game so much. It's such a good game. Okay. We've had plenty of ramblings now. All right, you guys, I will see you next time. I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a lovely hobby night. And thank you for joining me today on my live stream. See ya.